What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman, and this is the video we've been waiting on for quite some time. If you've been following channels like mine or the Marvel Cinematic Universe news cycle, then you'll know that very recently is when we received confirmation that the Fantastic Four had indeed begun pre-production officially over at Marvel Studios. And although they've had a long and storied past already and haven't even been cast in the role, it appears breaking late yesterday in an exclusive, Emily Blunt and her husband John Krasinski have indeed entered talks to join the MCU's Fantastic Four franchise, and of course that can only mean one thing: Mr. and Mrs. Fantastic, Reed Richards and Sue Storm. We're going to break down everything that was reported in this exclusive yesterday, catch you guys up to speed on what's been going on with Marvel Studios and the Fantastic Four just within the last month, and delve quickly into the history of them being tied to this role. We're going to break it all down, but first, if you could grab the subscribe button. We're still giving away this insane 1/4 scale Beta Ray Bill, and of course our third and final Infinity Saga box set on New Year's Eve. If you want to be entered to win, all you have to do, hit the subscribe button, then leave a comment down below, and if you want, stick around at the end of the video. We'll get into all the giveaway stuff again there, as well as quickly, guys, I know I rarely do this. I've had this channel for almost 3 years. I've only done it one time, promote my own music on the channel, but I just released a brand new single, a collab with Sawka. Some of you guys may recognize him from the band Pendulum. It's on Impossible Records. The song's called The Wind. I've left a link down in the description and the comments below. I know some music isn't for everybody. This may not be for you, but if you're morbidly curious, just want to support, or actually want to hear the track, if you could click the link, throw it a like, I'd sincerely appreciate it. So breaking late yesterday, again from a very small site, no pun intended, called smallscreen.co.uk, and we are going to leave a link to this original article below. In an exclusive under the headline, Emily Blunt and John Krasinski in talks with Marvel to star in an MCU Fantastic Four movie. They go on to report, quote, "It's being reported to us by inside sources that Marvel Studios is currently holding talks with both Emily Blunt and John Krasinski to have them star in the MCU's upcoming Fantastic Four. They are in talks to play Reed Richards and Susan Storm in the MCU," in case there was any question about that. This is something that fans have been calling for a long time now. There has been a lot of people fan casting both Krasinski and Blunt in the roles of Richards and Storm for a Fantastic Four movie all the way back since after Infinity War, and we've talked about this countless times at the channel. Not all of the reports between now and then, but everything John Krasinski and Emily Blunt have said in interviews in the last 2 years. Look, if this is new news to you, this has been so prevalent all over the internet by fans making concept art. There's actually more concept art for the two of them in their roles than there are for some of the actors who actually already have the roles. And since it's gotten that big, of course, every time they do an interview for the movie he directed called Quiet Place that Emily Blunt was in, both A Quiet Place and A Quiet Place 2 and some others, they were always asked about being tied to this role. Real recently, John Krasinski, when COVID hit, did his own little podcast news source, and it was real funny. He made the joke that something this may be as close to a superhero as I ever get, and looked right at the camera, fourth wall Deadpool style, telling the whole world he knows exactly what's up. Also, famously, he auditioned for the role of Captain America back in the day, but didn't get it. Now, for a lot of you guys, none of that is news, and you know all about the concept art as we've been using it here in the channel. And of course, every time they do an interview and say that they'd love to do it, which is how John Krasinski left the last interview where he was asked about this and he was willing to answer it directly. He said he was super interested, hopes that he gets the call. It would be awesome. He's seen all the concept art. It's amazing, and he'll be ready when the MCU calls him, which is what makes this brand new exclusive breaking late yesterday even that much more exciting than everything we've reported in the last couple of years, because in the last month, in some videos I'll make sure to link at the end of this, we got confirmation that the Fantastic Four had indeed begun pre-production at the MCU. It first came from industry insider Charles Murphy over at Murphy's Multiverse that the original Solve Everything LLC that we had all speculated could be an MCU production was indeed an MCU production when they registered it, and then the current production weekly, which you have to have a subscription to, listed the Fantastic Four is currently in production alongside Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness and the Untitled Spider-Man 3. Now, while this is very interesting for the Fantastic Four franchise itself and could be 2023 or 2024 before we actually see that film, oh man, Fantastic Four 2024, the marketing basically writes itself. There's a movie between now and then that has so heavily been rumored to have the Fantastic Four involved, and with the casting of Jonathan Majors and the rumor that he'll actually be playing Kang brought that one step further. That's of course Ant-Man 3, Ant-Man and the Wasp, and quite honestly this is where I get to chuckle just a little bit. I know there's certain names for channels like mine out there in the YouTube verse, and what they don't understand is that the reporting that we do here at the channel is always sourced somewhere, and so it gets kind of amusing when we leak stories like the Fantastic Four in Ant-Man 3 all the way back in 2019, and here we are a month away from 2021 and we're talking about the Fantastic Four showing up in Ant-Man 3. Say what you will about the reporting at channels like mine, it's amazing our track record, and in fact it almost makes me want to do a video and see just how right or wrong I've been on theories. Hint, hint, hint. Is that future content coming to Everything Always? We're going to check our own track record. Man, I feel like that's going to be like the heaviest video here. Either way, guys, the Fantastic Four is coming 100%. Sorry I deviated from my normal style here, but like I literally had to look this up. Check this out. We did a full breakdown on how this would happen all the way back in November of 2019 last year. We explained how all the building blocks for the narratives for both the Fantastic Four from the comics and where Ant-Man would be by the time this film came out. The Easter eggs that we had, it just basically made sense, and instead of making them explorers that travel into outer space like their original story, you could just basically have them traveling into the quantum realm, something we'll see again and hopefully we'll get more explained in Ant-Man and the Wasp, Ant-Man 3. And I've brought this up a couple of times, but this is a great time to mention that on examining what the MCU has already done, the storylines they've already brought out, having Captain America be the quote-unquote man out of time, where he was sort of frozen in ice, had to come out and then get reacclimated to current and modern times, I doubt they're going to do this with the Fantastic Four. We had originally conjectured alongside some comic enthusiasts that they could easily use the quantum realm as a way of setting the Fantastic Four back in their original time period decades before, and then still have them be relatively young and have a modern story. But that's exactly what they did with Captain America, and they found a great way to sew up that timeline and that story. I doubt that they're going to do that again all over again with the Fantastic Four, as it would feel like a bit of a rehashing, and they'd have to spend a lot of action in the film getting them up to date. That took Captain America several films. I think it makes it much easier if they're acclimated to the current times in technology and you just bring them in the storyline now in modern times, reset the whole thing in a new era. And I think that also works for the MCU where it's at. Guys, as always, let me know all your thoughts down below. How hype are you for an MCU Fantastic Four? And of course, if you don't want Emily Blunt or John Krasinski in those roles, or they don't get the roles, who else could you possibly see playing those two characters? I'm all ears, and quickly, let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. Also, I'm going to plug the song one more time. Again, I just released a brand new single on Impossible Records. That's KJ Sawka's record label. He's the drummer for Pendulum, Destroyed, a whole ton of other projects. We just released this track yesterday. I'm going to leave a link to both Spotify and YouTube down below. I know that certain types of music aren't for everybody, but if you could take a second and check it out, or you might actually want to check it out, either way, hit the links, throw it a like, whatever you got to do. I'd sincerely appreciate it, and it really supports me beyond just here at the channel. So let's get into that giveaway stuff. We're giving away this insane 1/4 scale Beta Ray bill regardless of subscriber count now, because the subs have sort of slowed down towards the end of the year. We're going to give it away alongside the Infinity Saga box set on New Year's Eve, regardless again of the subscriber count. So all you have to do to be entered to win, hit that sub button and leave a comment down below, because it's truly random. The more videos you like and comment on, the better chance you have of winning. Then make sure to hit the notification bell with notifications turned on to keep up with the channel. And of course, if you enjoyed today's video or the content, we'd always appreciate you hitting that like button. My name is Michael Roman. You can find me on Instagram at IamFires, or over on Twitch at twitch.tv/Novellin. There's links alongside the links to the song down in the description and the comments. Guys, thanks so much for checking out the channel, and stick around. We'll be posting again real soon.